I'm very excited to now introduce Saul Williams. Saul Williams was born in 1972 in Newburgh, New York. He's a poet, a writer, actor, and also a musician. His poetry has been published in the New York Times, in Esquire, in Bomb magazine, and also in African Voices. His many books include Set the Shotgun to the Head, 2003, as well as The Darim Sea Scrolls, 2006. Saul has collaborated a lot with visual artist Marcia Jones, and most recently with Angelbert Métayer, who made all the artworks. Actually, they made a collaboration for a new album. A very, very warm welcome to Saul Williams.
Citizens, children of the night, bearers of the day torch, scorched and burned, burn not, the dam is broken, the curse is fled. Once muddied and still the river runs, red. All those ships that never sailed, the ones with their seacocks open that lied scuttled in their stalls, today I bring them back, huge and intransitory, and let them sail forever if ever their occurrence uncurrent, the wind cannot serve as truth's currency. Currently moon-marked and sun-sparked, unmarked bills, will I am certain I speak a new language, as is always the first sign of a new age. I'd begun to believe my blackened toenails were on path to decay, when in truth they had begun the gradual process of crystallization. I am he who walks on wind-scorned feet with toenails of amethyst and rose quartz, my path now crystal clear. I am come to tell you she is here. It is not written. No penman ship was ever cargoed with her character. Note, books are carefully folded forests, void of autumn, bound from the sun. Likewise, she made her residence on the outskirts of history, on the dark side of the moon, where the searchlight of the sun could not spot her, nor rot her the seed of forbidden fruit. Every tree has a hidden root, yet she has come to light the swelling patchwork of vibrant dreams, and to think of the girlfriend I was tempted to break up with because she slept too much. I now know. They nurtured her there. They slept in packs, dreamt in cycles, nursed her in shifts, and became her on rotation. Unnamed every time she was named, that she would not be known even unto herself. Undressed every time she was dressed, that she would not be recognized anyone other than herself. They blindfolded her and spun her in circles, that she would find a way here, but no other means in her intuition. And she has come. I'm a simple, disoriented man in her presence. I wear my loincloth over my eyes and ejaculate too soon. Forgive me, Father, if I have sinned. I prayed to you and cupped the wind, and in doing so barred her entry into a century, 100 years of solitude. I will now pray with my hands outstretched, with these psalms etched into my palms. Most beloved, I am certain of nothing more than your existence. 1,000 ants crawling under a log may find themselves exposed to my childlike search for you. My collie, flower. I'm eternally destroyed by your love, no longer am I eligible for any worker's pension. My friends laugh at me and talk behind my back. They say that you've changed me, and I am. I'm like a survivor of the flood, walking through the streets drenched with God, surprised that all the drowned victims are still walking and talking. Maybe there's hope. I rush to each victim's side, sucking what I can of you out of your various incarnations, pumping their stomachs and filling them. To touch them is to touch you, to kiss them is to kiss you, my friends. Love is an art form slightly removed from its element. Now one may ask, well, what does this mean? I respond, I've made it up, but it shall be from now on. From now on, cities will be built on one side of the street, so that soothsayers will have wilderness to wander and lovers space enough to contemplate a kiss. She kisses if she alone could forge the signature of the sun. I close my eyes, although I never knew the difference. I stood before a brighter light, at lesser distance, and then a feeling. Almost as if nothing were ever bound to be repeated ever again, as if history had been as masterfully created as the Great Pyramids, and to reconstruct or relive any given moment would have to stem from an understanding of how the pyramids were built from the top down. And if one could understand such majesty, one would also understand that pyramids were first made of flesh, and that kisses are portals, our sacred breath shifting through hidden corrals and passageways. I will find my way to eternity within you. When I can feel you breathing into me, I, like a stone gargoyle atop some crumbling building, spring to life, a resuscitated angel. I sweep through city streets, my wings outstretched, making mothers clutch their young. And remember, and do you remember, dear ones, or has your history forsaken you? There are mysteries coded in song, chant, sung rhyme fires, all incantations calling forth this day. On this day, the drunks vomit in unison, though last night they drank from different cups. Children laugh and play, introducing their parents' invisible friends. A country girl smiles and two trees blossom out of season. Sea suns awaken, our mother has returned to wave us from uncertainty once tidal. Twice born of wooden ships, thrice formed to mother's hips. Mother ships grace two lips, a poet's garden. 2 for 5, the going fast, the future's bargain. That change I heard my name, the river's parting. Hurry up, things bury up, the sun is darkened. Rivers like oceans, oceans like answers, questions in cloud forms, raindrops and stanzas. To be or not to see or not to. She had eyes like two turntables, mixer in between. My dreams and reality blend in ancient themes. The basis of Isis cross faded to Ankh. The beat drops like a cliff, overlooking my heart. 6,000 feet above sea level, 3,300 bodies disassembled. The head bones connected to the cockpit, knee-jerk, ass backwards, dancing slaves in a mosh pit. Punk rock of Gibraltar, roll out, nothing's new. More blood dyes the Mohawk, only this time it's you. And you never loved her for what she possessed. You powdered her face and came on her headdress. Oil, slick feathers, putrid stench waterbed. Mother Nature's a whore, said the shotgun to the head. And it smelled like teen spirit, angst-driven, insecure, a country in puberty, a country at war. The greatest Americans have not been born yet. They are waiting patiently for the past to die. Please give blood. Those crumbled tablets were to share a story with a burning bush. Where is that voice from nowhere to remind us that the holy ground we walk on, purified by native blood, has rooted trees whose fallen leaves now color code a sacred list of demands? Who among us can give translation of autumn hues to morning news? The anchor man thrown overboard has simply rooted us in history's repeating cycle, a nation in its Saturn years that won't acknowledge karma. Where is that voice from nowhere, the ones your prophet spoke of? For I hear voices of fear disconnected from their diaphragms, dangling from coffee-covered teeth that spill into our laps and scorch our pride. There are voices from the sides of necks, some already noosed, dangling participles, pronouns running for sentence, serving life in corner offices and ghetto corners. Their voices are the same, dead to themselves, numb to the possibility of truth existing beyond that which they can palm in their hands, period. There are voices of elders, which seem to do no more than damn us to our childish ways, for in many households, wisdom no longer comes with age. So where is that voice from nowhere, that burning bush, that passing dove? For I hear the voices of generals calling for ammunition, presidents calling for arms, and women calling for help. Where is that voice from nowhere, that God of Abraham? Can he be heard over the gunfire, the whiz of passing missiles, the crash of buildings, the shriek of sirens, the crack of bones? Or is that his mighty voice, your angry God craving the sacrifice of virgin generations, sons degenerate, your holy books written in red ink on burning sands, your prayers between rounds to no more than fasten the fate of your children to the hammered truth of your trigger, a truth that mushrooms its darkened cloud of the rest of us, so we too bear witness to the short-lived fate of a civilization that worships a male god. Your weapons are phallic, all of them. That dummy that sits in your lap is no longer a worthwhile spectacle. His shrunken, pale face is in a room for imagination. We have spotted your moving lips and pinned the voice to its proper source. It is a source of madness, a source of hunger for power, a source of weakness, a source of evil. We are exiting your Coliseum and encircling your box office, demanding our families back, our culture back, our language back, our gods back, so we return them to the proper source, the source of life, the source of creation, our mother's womb, the great goddess. We will cut through the barbed wire hangers and chastity belts. We will climb in and incubate our spirits through the winter. We will wait through the degenerate course of your repeated history. We will wait for the past to die. Thank you. That was an opening excerpt of a book called Said the Shotgun to the Head. What am I going to read next? Okay, this is from another book called The Dead MC Scrolls. It's called Coded Language. Whereas break beats have been the missing link connecting the diasporic community to its drum-oven past. Whereas the quantized drummers allowed the whirling mathematicians to calculate the ever-changing distance between rock and stardom. Whereas the velocity of spinning vinyl cross-faded, spun backwards, and re-released at the same given moment of recorded history, yet at a different moment in time's continuum, has allowed history to catch up with the present. We do hereby declare reality unkept by the changing standard of dialogue. Statements such as, keep it real, especially when punctuating or anticipating modes of ultra-violence inflicted psychologically or physically, will henceforth be seen as retroactive and not representative of the individually determined is. Furthermore, as determined by the collective consciousness of this state of being and the lessened distance between thought patterns and their secular manifestations, the role of men as listening receptacles is to be increased by no more less than 70% of the current enlisted as vocal aggressors. Motherfuckers, when I say motherfucker, I mean literally those who desecrate that which is feminine, maternal, matriarchal, truthful. Motherfuckers better realize. Now is the time to self-actualize. We have found evidence that hip-hop standard at 85 RPM, when increased by a number of at least half the rate of its standard, or decreased to 3/4 of its speed, may be a determining factor in heightening consciousness. Studies show that when a given norm is changed in the face of the unchanging, the remaining contradictions will parallel the truth. Equate rhyme with reason, sun with season. Our cyclical relationship to phenomenon has encouraged scholars to erase the centers of periods, thus symbolizing a nonlinear character of cause and effect. Reject mediocrity. Your current frequencies of understanding outweigh that which has been given for you to understand. The current standard is the equivalent of an adolescent who is sick to the diet of an infant. The rapidly changing body would acquire dysfunction and deformative symptoms and could not properly mature on a diet of applesauce and crushed pears. Light years are interchangeable with years of living in darkness. The role of darkness is not to be seen as or equated with ignorance, with the unknown and the mysteries of the unseen. Thus, in the name of Robeson, Godson, Hurston, Akhenaten, Hatshepsut, Blackfoot, Helen, Lennon, Kahlo, Kali, the three Marias, Tara, Lilith, Lord, Whitman, Baldwin, Ginsburg, Kaufman, Lumumba, Gandhi, Gibran, Shabazz, Siddhartha, Medusa, Guevara, Gurdjieff, Rand, Wright, Banneker, Tubman, Hamer, Holiday, Davis, Coltrane, Morrison, Joplin, Du Bois, Clark, Shakespeare, Rachmaninoff, Ellington, Carter, Gay, Hathaway, Hendricks, Cootie, Dickinson, Ripperton, Mary, Isis, Teresa, Hansberry, Tesla, Plath, Rumi, Fellini, Michaud, Nostradamus, Nefertiti, Laroque, Shiva, Ganesha, Yemaya, Oshun, Obatala, Ogun, Kennedy, King, Four Little Girls, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Keller, Marley, Magdalene, Cosby, Shakur, those who burn, those still aflame, and the countless unnamed. We claim the present as the present, as the hereafter. We're unraveling our navels that we may ingest the sun. We are not afraid of the darkness. We trust that the moon shall guide us. We are determining the future at this very moment. We know that the heart is the philosopher's stone. Our music is our alchemy. We stand as a manifested equivalent of 3 buckets of water and a handful of minerals, thus realizing that those very buckets turned upside down supply the percussive factor of forever. If you must count to keep the beat, then count. Find your mantra and awaken your subconscious. Carve your circles counterclockwise. Use your cipher to decipher coded language, man-made laws, climb waterfalls and trees, commune with nature, snakes and bees. Let your children name themselves and claim proclaim themselves as the new day. For today, we are determined to be the channelers of these changing frequencies into songs, paintings, writings, dance, drama, photography, carpentry, crafts, love. And love, we enlist every instrument, acoustic, electronic, every so-called gender, race, sexual orientation, every person as beings of sound, to acknowledge the responsibility to uplift the consciousness of the entire fucking world. Any utterance unaimed will be disclaimed, will be maimed. 2 rappers slain. Thank you all very much. It's a pleasure to be here in such wonderful company. Thank you.